What's the most efficient advice? What's the best advice we got from our ancestor, right? Grandfather, dad, uncles. I feel like they all specialize in different things, but I think that our grandfather gave us the biggest breakthrough advice, right? Right, you want to talk about the one in terms of rolling with uncles of ours.
Yeah, there's a quote that says, if you don't lose, you can only win. So a quote like that, if you don't lose, then only winning is left.
Right.
For you to do. And that quote simply means, if you can avoid defeat, you won. So when you live by that, then you let go of this expectation that you have to submit people, which for whatever reason, it has done. Jiu-Jitsu has become submission only tournaments, and go for submission, go for submission, go for submission. So this quote, if you don't lose, you can only win, I would say is the core of.
But we heard that our whole lives.
But it never really landed.
It didn't land until we were like 20 years old. 20, 19.
18, yeah, 19.
You know, whole life hearing this. So if you guys can take this advice and you can explain it more thoroughly.
And really roll with somebody, and even if I say 20 seconds left, 10 seconds, and you're underneath someone in the side mount who's a lower belt than you.
Yes.
And you're defending for the whole 3, 4 last 5 minutes you're on the bottom for the last 3 minutes. And it ends, and you feel good, then you're on the path, and you understand this. Now, if at the end of 3 minutes, you were defending, and you say, man, I couldn't get out, and I barely defended, I didn't win. If you respond to yourself, if you talk to yourself like that, then you are not hearing what Eddie Gracie told us, which is if you do not lose, you can only win. He did not mean win by submitting someone. That if you don't get tapped out, you will eventually submit them. He meant if you don't get tapped out, that is the victory. So that is one quote. And then that quote, combined with, I do not defeat my opponents, they defeat themselves. That quote now allows for, I don't need to beat you. I need to not lose long enough and stick around and watch you defeat yourself. And how do they defeat themselves? Through the belief that they need to finish you. Because we know that everybody in the world, wherever they are, the moment they land there, they're already trying to go somewhere else. And that carries over so strongly into Jiu-Jitsu. So allow people to defeat themselves with this idea of having to pass your guard, escape your side mount, submit you from the side mount, submit you from the bottom of guard. And when they go, they'll defeat themselves by
physically exhausting, and nothing's more exhausting than attempted punches that miss. Nothing's more exhausting than attempted submissions that don't land because they're giving 100% and you catch nothing. Physically exhausting and psychologically exhausting, and then
now those things happen.
You're there to pick up the pieces and take your pick.
And then you take your pick, not even from a place of I have to submit them. But now, okay, they couldn't submit me. I can see their spirits are down and their energy is down. So now you look at them and you just ask yourself, is there anything there? Can I distract them? Can I probe them a little bit to make them overreact and give something? Yes, no, if not, no problem. If so, let me explore it a little bit. Let me give a little bit of effort to make them overreact. And if they give it, you take it. If they don't give anything, then it ends with another victory, which is them being more tired than you are.
Which is a victory. There it is, friends. That's how David beats Goliath. If you don't lose, you will eventually win.
This mindset right here, I feel like I say this all the time. This mindset is not for David. Do you understand? This mindset is for everybody because everybody is David. In David and Goliath, there's only one Goliath. Great. But in the real world, this mindset, these two concepts, which is one concept, right, which is Jiu-Jitsu, this is for everybody. I don't care how strong, young, athletic, competitor, cool you are. There will be a day where if you don't adopt this mindset, this way of doing Jiu-Jitsu, Jiu-Jitsu will chew you up and spit you out. You will be gone from Jiu-Jitsu.
You'll have your run.
Yes.
And then you'll fail to meet your expectations around 45, 50 years old.
What? 45, 50.
When?
45, 50?
55?
People could be 33 years old. Do you understand?
Oh, and
still be getting demolished by people who are 22.
And self-demolishing with the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
Got it.
If you 45, 50 is so far away. People are 27 right now.
And they'll be done
on top of the world. They're on top of the world. They they have no idea what's around the corner. There's somebody coming around the corner that's going to knock on your door in 4 years, and you're going to all of a sudden say, oh my gosh, I can't do my guard passes, my side mount escapes, my side mount submissions. Whatever you're amazing at, nothing's going to work for you. And then you're going to feel like, I can't do this anymore. You're not going to say, hey, you know what? Those that do not lose can only win. You're never going to say that because all you know is 7, 9 years of submit. So you have to start programming yourself now because the day is so close. 27 years old, 30 years old, 19-year-olds, 225 pounds, been training since they were 6.
They're coming.
What are you going to do? Nothing. You're done.
Unless, right now,
you decide right now.
Self-defense for life, which is the principles that he was talking about. The best advice our grandfather ever gave us was this one. If you don't lose, you'll eventually win. He lived by that till 95, and he was able to train until then because of it, right? He never disqualified himself from jiu-jitsu because his definition of victory, of survival only, was sustainable until 95. But any other definition, he would have had to quit.
So when people say stuff like, I can't do jiu-jitsu, he looks at you like, what? What do you mean you can't do jiu-jitsu? You would only say I can't do jiu-jitsu if you don't understand this mindset,
this definition.
If this is your truth, then of course. So him at 87 years old, what do you mean you can't do jiu-jitsu?
He doesn't get
you. You must not understand what jiu-jitsu is.
There it is.
You think jiu-jitsu is just run people over and kill them. You're lost. But let me show you what jiu-jitsu is. Come over here and mount the 87-year-old me. And then he teaches you jiu-jitsu and then, but then you forget. You forget. You forget because...
Well, not anymore.
No.
It's on video.
No, they still forget. Because when you get on the mat, you feel strong. And you do something and it looks good. People say, wow, that was a great arm lock. Or a great sweep. And then you walk in the locker room and you tell somebody what happened. You say, hey, I got an arm lock. And they're like, oh, sick. And you forget. And you fall back into this trap of having to do, go, kill. What did you say earlier?
Drill to kill?
Drill to kill mindset.
I shouldn't have said that.
You think like that.